Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90-Day Fiancé's David Toborowsky reveals if he loves expat life, amid signs he'll return to America. David Toborowsky from 90-Day Fiancé revealed what his life in Thailand is really like after suggesting he has plans to move back to America soon. David took a trip to Thailand in his late 40s to reinvent himself and, by chance, met Annie Soin, who changed his life forever. The May-December couple signed up for 90-Day Fiancé Season 5, in which Annie and David documented the highs and lows of their lives. They got married in 2017, and 8 years later, David and Annie left America for Thailand, where they welcomed their baby, Minthaira. David and Annie have kept fans guessing about what they've been up to in Thailand, and David's new update seems to reveal it all. David shared an Instagram post with a picture of Annie holding their baby Minthaira. He revealed that they went to the beach for lunch with their daughter. He loved how great the afternoon felt, with the family enjoying the fresh sea air and having a delicious seafood meal. Loving the expat life, David added to his caption to convince his followers that he's not living in Thailand against his wishes, amid questions surrounding where they will live in the future. An expat is someone who lives outside their native country, and David, referring to himself as one, suggests his move to Thailand is not meant to be short-term. He likely sees himself living there permanently. David has expressed how much he enjoys life in Thailand, which is fitting since it is where his relationship with Annie began. Without Annie, he might still be living off his friend's support and trying to find his place in society. At 56, David is now one of the most recognizable reality TV personalities, thanks to his many appearances on 90-Day Fiancé. David moved to Thailand with Annie because she wanted to have their baby surrounded by loved ones. He had just begun a new career in real estate, but now works remotely. He also manages properties in Thailand and has successfully sold one of his own apartments there. David has mentioned that he may take up farming in the future, a dream of Annie's that he is willing to support. It appears he does not resent the life she envisions for their family. Instead, he trusts his wife to choose the best path for their future together. David from 90-Day Fiancé recently returned to the U.S. without revealing why. He seemed to miss his family and his work based in Arizona. David takes his career seriously, having faced times of poverty and uncertainty. Thailand may not offer the same income, especially with a new baby to support. To generate income, he launched a book and promotes brands on Instagram. Despite this, David's recent statement shows Thailand isn't treating him badly. He believes he can succeed anywhere as long as Annie is by his side. When it comes to fan-favorite couples on 90-Day Fiancé, few pairs are as memorable as David Toborowsky and Annie Soin. From their unconventional love story to their undeniable chemistry on screen, the couple has gone from a rocky beginning to becoming one of the franchise's most beloved success stories. Yet, beyond their quirky banter and cooking adventures, the pair has also become symbols of what it means to live boldly and take chances. Recently, however, David has been opening up about his experience as an American living abroad, stirring curiosity about whether his so-called expat life has truly delivered everything he hoped for, or if he's secretly itching to come back to America, the expat dream that became reality. David's decision to live abroad with Annie wasn't just about following his heart. It was about finding a new way of life. After years of financial struggles and personal setbacks, David seemed ready for a fresh start. Annie's Thai roots gave them an anchor overseas, and together they embraced the idea of living internationally. In Thailand, David and Annie didn't just immerse themselves in the local culture. They turned it into a lifestyle brand. Fans watched them explore street markets, temples, and countryside life, often with Annie at the center of culinary adventures. Annie's skills in the kitchen and David's eagerness to taste test every dish became part of their charm. For many fans, their social media posts looked like a dream life, vibrant, flavorful, and far removed from the stress of everyday American routines. Yet, behind the palm trees and endless bowls of noodle soup, expat life isn't always easy. And David has been candid about that reality. What David really thinks about living abroad. In a recent Q&A with fans, David was asked directly, "Do you love living as an expat? Or do you miss America?" His answer wasn't a simple yes or no. It was layered, filled with gratitude, but also a hint of longing. "I love the opportunities that come with living abroad," David explained. "There's freedom in it, and it allows Annie and me to experience life from a completely different perspective. But there are always things you miss about home. There are days I just want to sit in a diner and order a burger and fries without having to search for the right place. And, of course, I miss being close to family and friends." That statement, while diplomatic, opened the door to speculation. Fans immediately began wondering, is David laying the groundwork for a return to the United States? Signs pointing toward America. Although David and Annie have built a rich life abroad, small signs have been popping up that suggest they may not stay overseas forever. Recently, they've spent more extended periods in the U.S., traveling to different states for both personal reasons and business opportunities. Annie's cooking classes, once primarily hosted in Thailand, have been tested in American cities, drawing in enthusiastic crowds eager to learn her techniques firsthand. Moreover, David has hinted that he sometimes feels out of sync with certain aspects of international living. "It's not that I don't love it," he clarified, "but it's different when you're a visitor versus when you're building a life. Long term, there are challenges with visas, healthcare, and planning for the future." That comment struck a chord with fans who know that David is in his mid-50s. As an American who once struggled with unemployment and health issues, he may be reconsidering the practicality of staying away from the U.S. as he grows older. Annie's influence and the couple's dynamic. Of course, no decision David makes will be entirely his alone. Annie has been clear from the beginning that she is deeply connected to her Thai roots. Living in Thailand gives her a sense of familiarity, family ties, and cultural comfort. For Annie, moving permanently back to America is not as straightforward. Yet, she has also proven to be incredibly adaptable. Over the years, Annie has embraced life in America with just as much enthusiasm as she does in Thailand. She's playful, business-savvy, and eager to share her skills with others. If David truly feels a pull toward returning to America, Annie might be willing to follow, so long as they find a balance that keeps her connected to her heritage. This push and pull between their two worlds is part of what makes them fascinating. They aren't just a couple figuring out a marriage. They're a couple figuring out what home really means. The love-hate relationship with expat life. David's honesty about expat life has resonated with fans who dream of living abroad themselves. He paints a picture that is both beautiful and real. Yes, there's adventure. Yes, there's cultural enrichment. But there's also homesickness, red tape, and the question of long-term stability. He has shared that sometimes he feels like an eternal tourist. While that can be thrilling, it can also be isolating. "You're always the outsider," David admitted. "Even if you love the people and the culture, you never stop being aware that you're not really from there." That's not to say David regrets his choices. In fact, he's quick to emphasize the growth that comes from stepping outside your comfort zone. Living abroad forces you to see the world differently. It humbles you. It makes you realize that your way isn't the only way. Could a return spark a new chapter? If David and Annie do decide to return to America, it wouldn't necessarily mean the end of their global adventures. In fact, it might open up new possibilities. With their growing popularity on social media and the ongoing demand for Annie's cooking classes, being based in the U.S. could actually expand their brand. Imagine Annie launching her own cooking show filmed in the States, with David as her ever-entertaining co-host. Or the couple opening a fusion restaurant that blends Thai flavors with American favorites. Returning to America wouldn't be a retreat, it could be a relaunch. Fans weigh in. The fan community is already buzzing with opinions. Some argue that David and Annie should stay abroad, continuing to live the adventurous life that sets them apart. Others believe it's only natural for them to come back to the States, especially as they think about the future and family connections. What's clear is that no matter where they go, fans will follow. David and Annie have built more than just a marriage. They've built a brand based on authenticity, humor, and love. David's final word for now. When pressed on the matter, David gave a statement that perfectly sums up his perspective. Home isn't just where you're from. It's where you feel loved, supported, and inspired. For now, that's with Annie, no matter what country we're in. It's a romantic yet pragmatic answer, reminding fans that while the debate about expat life and American life will continue, the real story here is about a couple who have learned how to thrive together against all odds. For David Toborowsky, expat life has been both a gift and a challenge. He loves it, but he also misses pieces of his old life. Whether he and Annie ultimately settle in America or abroad, one thing remains certain. Their journey is far from over, and fans will be watching every twist and turn.